Exposed to a whole range of different ways of doing, thinking and being that really began to challenge some of the beliefs and assumptions that they'd grown up with. And particularly the beliefs and assumptions around what men and women should do and be. It was evident that most families did not work like ours did. And some of those differences were brilliant. So when I was 4, my dad started working part-time and he never worked full-time again. So throughout our childhood, both my parents worked part-time because they both wanted to have careers but also to be really involved parents. And as an indication of the kind of guy my dad is, when we got married 11 years ago, all the bonboniere, the take-home gifts for the guests, were handmade by my dad Pete. So the beer drinkers got his home brew and the sweet tooths got his love heart-shaped shortbreads. My mum's the kind of woman who got a kayak for her 60th birthday. And all of this stuff was fantastic for us. But you can probably imagine that there was also a little bit of embarrassment about some of the things that my parents did that were really different from what we saw around us. So my mother's hairy armpits and legs really bothered me. And to this day, I think what a wise 13 I was not to invite any school friends to my dad's 40th. And that is a custom-made bodysuit. And it's really easy to think, come on, who cares what stickers kids have on their door? Lighten up, would you? And seriously, is there really any problem with gender stereotypes anyway? So throughout today, like most of you, I have made a really big effort to appear like a knowledgeable, educated, rational grown-up. In fact, today I've made more effort than most days. Not every day I'm sitting on a table with the most senior public servant in Australia or people such as Rabia Sadiq, CEs from the South Australian public sector. So when one is in such company, one makes a particular effort to appear knowledgeable, educated and rational. Knowledgeable and educated we all may be. Rational we most certainly are not. Yes, we can learn to make rational decisions. We can even learn to follow through with rational action. But the design of the human brain means that to think and act rationally consistently, so that is to use objective logic as the key criteria on which we base our perceptions, our beliefs, our actions, is nigh on impossible. And I'm going to introduce a couple of concepts that are really useful for you to apply in any domain of your life when you're wanting to keep your brain, your attention, your focus on the things that matter most. So all of those are great examples of how our brain, while it can be incredibly helpful, fails to be so consistently. Fortunately, as we heard a bit from Martin this morning, there are tools and processes that we can put in place to help mitigate our brain's tomfoolery at least some of the time. And the rest of the time, we are left with a misguided, flawed, irrational mass of cells that I think can best be compared to a toddler. For most of us, and particularly for leaders who these days are constantly bombarded with information, research, workshops, case studies about how we can improve our own performance, our team's performance, our organisational performance, that sense of knowing what we should do and failing to do it can become almost the norm.